Hey there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's El Dudorino from Austria versus MTU from Poland. MTU's match schedule, looks like apart from today, he'll have his hands full with Basiliuk to a free club, Fox, Tito Aces, so a bunch of masters. And this year, today, versus the Austrian definitely is a must win. El Dudorino was able to win his qualifier, breezed through all 3 rounds with 2-0 match wins, and well, we'll have a tough time today against MTU. MTU's top rating of 860 something is indicative of his skill level. So definitely tough time for the Austrian today. Then next one versus Cherry Power from South Korea should be a tad easier. But then against the reigning world champion Dramcard from Colombia and Bluster, Croatia. Well, definitely he's no favorite to make the playoffs, at least not this year. So again, this is MTU's rating evolution over here, the peak of 860, because it was in a day where he afterwards lost quite a lot of turn-based games, so ended them after I think he lost the regular game. Peak wasn't even that visible. El Dudorino's top rating seems to be in the 680 range, currently 556, which seems to be on par for their level of play, at least in the last 2 years. So let's see what they managed to bring to the table today and if they can withstand the expected onslaught by Mateusz. What I definitely expect is a rather quick game. Usually the thinking time of yellow is around 3 to 4 minutes max. And MTU isn't a slow player as well. So first off, this threat here is quite severe, and therefore blue tries to do something about it. Yellow doesn't care, doesn't protect, quite likely should have, but they don't. And now the Polish player has the upper hand here, as long as yellow isn't able to attack this city again. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mateusz would play something over here on the next possibility. For now, he had to protect this city. One dagger already gone, second one now gone as well, and now the city on the left is safe, at least for now. Sure, this option to attack it from top delays road completion, or could delay the road completion for quite some time. We'll see about this. But at least this road takes care of the scoreboard lead for now. Don't like this monastery at all. It's so risky because this square here is so often restricted. But blue decides not to go there, not to waste the vanilla, instead just calmly opens a new city to score it. Worked out fine. Now he attacks. Now that there are still 4 cows left, and frankly, yellow would have been well served to attack there themselves, risking, of course, their complete game on one square. Not a given to draw one of 4 cows, but very likely. But if that one here would have been killed, then these 2 meeples would have been lost, in addition to the other 4, which would have swayed the game for sure in blue's favor. For now, it's still salvageable for yellow, especially if they happen to draw a cow sooner than later, because then they for sure will claim the field. And with this field, take a small lead, and blue's city on the right side doesn't look great at all. Only 3 pieces left, and blue needs to get 2. And now yellow even threatens to take over the currently 9-point road. So there is a bit of upset in the air. Yellow killed blue's connection here, so the only one would be next to yellow's monastery. But if that square gets killed, blue quite likely wouldn't mind at all. Yellow's 9-point field would be fixed, and blue still has options to increase the worth of their field. Yeah, next threat against both the city and the road connection square. And now this one here gets restricted to the one and only remaining regular crossroad, which is a big problem for yellow. They still have 2 daggers up top for the city, which is definitely fine for them, but the one crossroad only is a tough pill to swallow. So blue got 1 starting tile, now only needs one of the 2 remaining roses to complete their city. Therefore, yellow acts against, and this city tries to kill this square, ideally while also me playing this one here with a cap. Hey, Kyrillo. Yeah, what else did you expect? I mean, mtu definitely isn't slow. And Eldudorino's average thinking time is, I think, around 3 minutes. Ooh. Nice draw for the pole. But the Austrian took care of this field here. This square's dead, so this city isn't any threat anymore. But there is this one here. There are still 2 Doritos left, so an attack over here, which yellow could have prevented with the curve, could end up winning the game. And Problem is there's only one horse left, no rotorito. So straight from over here would have been problematic, but in a situation when there's only one straight left, I think blue could have gone for this and rather use caps with roads on the left side. Now this here would protect this attacking option, as now even straight doesn't work anymore. Okay, blue attacks this, because if it works, then it would be with tempo while also scoring this 4-point road. And if they can't claim this road, and yellow would sacrifice some points by uniting blue's small field with their bigger field. And therefore, yellow takes 3 points on the left instead of the 4 on the right. This square, by the way, is dead. So by extension, this monastery, well, this was dead earlier, because there was no vanilla left after blue's won. Yeah, we lost the first one in 7 minutes. I'm not so sure about that, Alexi. This one here was played earlier. Let me quickly show you. Yeah, it was played at noon, around noonish. Not sure why they played game on the same day. And actually, this should be hidden. Seems the tool doesn't catch this anymore. But they are done with their first one in a few seconds. So in the end, blue opts to take this road and connect. And now both need daggers. Blue immediately gets to close their city, also has an option, a shot at drawing one of 2 remaining Doritos. The first one goes to yellow, so with this many caps still out there, I would expect Mateusz to go here and exactly this way, because all caps fit there. Whoa, this is risky as risky can be, with 2 daggers out there, gifting a blue this option to not just close their city, but also attack the shared field, even if it's only a 6 and later possibly 9-point field. I don't see that the chance of possibly killing this one outweighs the risk, but it might. And at least they could have gone for it. They don't. They prefer to kill this one and allow blue the attack I mentioned. No block available. Both options still open. Okay. Seems like the tool only works once there is one current result. Well, then I'll have to code a bit more. So mtu doesn't connect. This connection is still alive. So if yellow wants to go there, they could, but claiming a 6-point ruin doesn't win them the game. They are at -10 right now. Need the dagger for sure. Need to draw the straight as well to prevent blue from taking over the field. Sure, they need to get the straight anyway, so not meepling the road doesn't matter for now. It looks like they have to go there, but it doesn't work because there's still a splitter left. So if you want to block this, you have to add points to your opponent, which they didn't. And now they may claim 5 points from the road up top, but it doesn't matter at all. So, blue not cheating the gallows here exactly, but I'd say they got away with one. This could have turned south, but in the end, yellow, I'm not sure if they could have found better moves, but quite likely, I mean, they could have dealt with this situation differently than they did, just taking the road, preventing blue from getting a longer road than their 3 points there. And then, of course, the right piece at the right time for blue helped immensely. Let's take a quick look at the stats. Yeah, and what helped blue definitely was drawing 2/3 of the caps in this game. And all extenders, well, usually should help as well. So let's hop into the next one. And unless Fabian manages to win the second versus Erwin, I won't cover that match. Else we might get a few minutes of them as well. Okay, if you think that this here works better than just taking blue's best monastery spot away, sure, go for it. I mean, it's a 6-point city. Will they attack the road again? Yeah, sadly they will. I think claiming this one here somewhere safer would have been the better move, but we'll see. Yeah, restricted next to their monastery, always a pain in the ass. And mtu quite surely will restrict this to a 50-50 now. And if that doesn't hit until the mid game, then will be a pretty significant problem for yellow, especially if they don't manage to draw a crossroad to at least liberate one of the road meeples. So I wouldn't be surprised seeing mtu's next curve landing in that spot to unite these roads. Yep, there is the curve as expected, and due to this field, the virtual scoreboard looks pretty nice for El Duderino. I mean, a lead of 52-26 sure looks great. But in the long run, without the crossroad, they are 2 meeples down, due to the farmer even 3. Blue quite likely. Annoying draw for blue. Just wanted to say, quite likely will be patient with their city, waiting for Doritos. Didn't work, but at least yellow immediately jumped at the chance. Maybe a tad too antsy. Maybe going for a restriction, possibly even better here, going for the kill. Should have been considered, because trying to at least equalize the meeple count, or the count of entangled, restricted meeples on the board, should be one of their main goals for now. But we'll see. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kirillo. Yeah, so blue attacks the field. If yellow wants to liberate their monastery, they'd have to invite blue's farmer. And of course, if blue closes their field on the left side, they might very well attack the farm with a second meeple. I mean, I get this in theory, because both have only 1 meeple in hand, but blue's meeples are easier to liberate. And with only 1 splitter, it might even work. But doing something against this monastery, and by extension against this city, would at least have been a consideration. Taking a second to think about it surely wouldn't have hurt. Yeah. And that's mtu style. He knows full well that he's likely to have the meeple majority in the long run, so he takes away easy options to close the city on the top, and gives himself chances to claim this ruin. Yellow closes 1 monastery, gets a meeple back. No, this farmer was already on the field. Blue fought long and hard whether to be greedy and take this cap or close one of their cities. In the end, mtu decided this one is the one to go, because quite likely he was a bit apprehensive due to restrictions like this one, with only 1 splitter and 1 starting tile still in the deck. But now both have 2 meeples. The ruin up top, or city, it's not a ruin yet, is worth 12 points, and that's what I expected. Blue attacks it. Yeah, that's annoying. So yellow has options to kill both with 1 piece, but blue risks it nonetheless, and now has to decide whether to liberate the monastery and indirectly protect the city, or protect the connection up top, and there are still 3 extenders left. But a lot of curves to kill this, and not a lot of cows. I mean, 3 are a lot, but definitely less options to kill these 2 than to kill this square. So in the end, it looks to me like it would be wise to protect up top. Blue opted for the other approach, and it worked out for them quite nicely. In this case, I'm not so sure if I'd go there. Maybe leaving this empty and hoping that your opponent doesn't get anything to connect or protect, or they'd get something they'd rather use elsewhere. Could have been considered as well. Yellow attacks immediately, and again, 3 extenders still out there. Now 2. If yellow gets 1, well, the threat would loom large. This here wouldn't surprise me, but Mateusz doesn't go for it. He just builds up a counter threat on the left side, and his city could very well close. Even throws caution to the wind. So attacks from the left with a lot of caps even are possible. Now also from the right side. But I'm not sure this was a great move for yellow. They could have killed the square. No, they couldn't. The Road Monastery is in blue's hand. Yeah. But now these 15 points are in blue's possession, more or less what I expected after this restriction next to yellow's monastery, entangling 3 versus 1 meeples. Blue takes away field attacking option. But now yellow finally got a threat of their own. And even if they don't close this city, they just snatched at least the temporary lead. This is not dead. There is still a splitter out there. And therefore, Eldorino could kill this, going over here with a city plus road piece. But after claiming this one, might not need to do this. Yeah, full on risk by mtu. Yeah, 3 points are nice, but killing a possible 8-point city on your opponent's field, so that one is worth 11, might have been the more pressing matter. Also, killing your opponent's only chance, basically, to get back into the game might have also been a good idea. Yellow opts for neither. Instead, just claims the 3 points there. Not sure they do a lot for their winning chances here. And now they will attack up top, right? And then they leave the door open. Boy. And we'll close it now. Or not? Will they close the door or not? I mean, they need to count to 2, and in the end might just see that they need to go there, and they found it. So it's yellow's win. So one huge step for Elder Duderino towards a huge upset. Yeah, tough one. So in the end, this risky move here won them the game because it allowed them to attack and close the city. Yeah, and Erwin dispatched Fabian. Oh, looks like the Belgian took some time to think about his moves. 15 minutes in a game with Erwin usually means the opponent fought for at least 12 of them. This looks like a BGA bug. Yep. There, out of thin air, appears a blue meeple. What? And it works. I mean, I have two thoughts about this. For one, it's the 1.6% chance that your opponent gets the quad city on the next turn, or they get something without a city side facing to the outside, and you might get it. So the chance to kill or to take away the starting player advantage might be a consideration by Mateusz. On the other hand, immediately pressuring this road might have also been, well, tinier part for going here. But I think, I think he had considered the implication. Usually you'd rather start another city somewhere safe and keep at least one cap open just for the case of drawing extender or twin caps. But it worked for blue, and he might think that he has to play even more aggressively than he usually does. I'm not so sure about that one, but let's see. Will he do something about this road now? try to at least wreak havoc there, but does this really hurt yellow? Well, it would if blue manages to put a field side here, then at least one of these two meeples would die later, if not both. So it might be an okay investment, even though you are already down by 15 points for now. Other option, of course, would be to create a loop up top. Yeah, this is nice as well. Going for a secondary field, which would either unite to the main field or would at least give you options to play against Yellow City. So Yellow City now is restricted to the starting tiles, but there are still 3 left. But their problems don't end there. There are still a lot of tiles to snatch this cap in the middle or kill the square. So basically all field Doritos, the remaining splitter, and the vanilla. So 10 tiles for blue versus 3 for yellow. It doesn't bode well for them. And here we go. There's the kill. No questions asked. No seconds wasted. Immediate no-brainer, especially with a shieldless Dorito. Yeah, so Kyrillo asking why MTU took this one. I think it's a sort of insurance against yellow drawing a cap before any limitation could happen. But I'm not sure it's necessary even. The problem... No, that's not even a problem, because either this is immediately connected to the main field, or it would be on a shoddy 3-point field. So yeah, quite likely he just didn't want to give away this one, but I'm not convinced it was necessary at all. Especially not when your opponent has a lot of his meeples already in play. Yellow's Monastery now is officially dead. Yellow attacked the field up top. They even have an outside chance to go here if blue somehow manages to kill the square. And in some cases, blue might bite this bullet and close Yellow City just to bring their second farmer into the main field. But for now, that main field is worth only 9 points. But it's not looking good for MTU. I mean, in the long run, he has the meeple majority, so he should be able to take over a unified field. 2 yellow meeples are dead. 1 is in long-term storage. And 2 more are on fields. Okay. 1 just returned. Looks like I just have to call them out for slacking, and then they reappear. But of course, this unites the fields. Nonetheless, yellow is at plus 11, even against blue's 15-point field. Yeah, closing that city for 6 points is a must. This is definitely a very nice idea here. If yellow connects, at least they'd help blue score points. Well, I actually wouldn't have been surprised if blue had claimed this road. This doesn't make any sense at all, at least not to me, because your opponent is the next one who could possibly draw a crossroad. Yeah, 5 points in yellow's back, but a nice city waiting for one of 3 Doritos. Yellow claims the points, so their gamble worked. At least this time. Plus 22. Main field worth 18. So looks like the best field attack might be a double ninja. There is also a simpler approach here, and there are still 2 starting tiles left. So any block over here would be tricky, needing 3 tiles. So only 2. There is no dagger left, right? Yeah, there's no dagger left. So city part from the bottom would kill the square. But with blue city next to this, I don't expect them to go there. They use, yeah, this one. Whoa, that's risking a lot with still a lot of city road plus city caps out there, which would have killed this one immediately. I mean, sure, this restricts the city to a 50-50, but if you have a meeple up top, why not just claim this? I mean, this would have been your second meeple in hand, and do you really need more with 20 tiles remaining? There's still a splitter for blue to close the city. There are other options, of course. Problem being, any city part from the bottom would immediately kill this one. Okay. It's a way to attack a field, I guess. But do you really want to help your opponent if you have a very good chance to win without the main field? Um, just consider this kill here. 3 points less for blue. And you'd be up at +5 with a meeple more than your opponent in hand. And this one here is basically risking blue closing that and attacking the field. Here we go. And now yellow, whoa, doesn't even attack this city. Yeah, this has to be punished, and it will. Oh, thank you, deck. Thank you, deck. Yeah. This misstep here, at least I think it's a misstep. And then this one, not attacking blue city, not preventing blue from closing the city and farming there has to be punished. Yellow doesn't trust attacking here. I don't see why they didn't. Maybe they didn't even see that they could attack there because there's still one starting tile left. Blue actually might need to connect. If they want to secure these 3 points, maybe going over here is the better option. Yeah. And Mateusz concurs. Yellow's field attack would have worked, but they didn't go for the 50-50. So there's still one vanilla left, but the vanilla would only score 2 points for blue up top. Blue quite likely considers this one to take away 3 points. Now they take away their 3 points as well. And the 6 points from the road. Are they enough? They might be, actually. +3 to +9. Yeah, this could have been enough. And now that's the same question here for blue. Do you take the monastery for 6? And I think he should. This also takes complicates taking this ruin for yellow. Vanilla in yellow's hands, but this just isn't enough, and there is no cap left. Yeah, and again, blue dodging another loss. precision, not going over here, because adding the 1 point to your monastery would lead to yellow claiming a 7-point win. So in the end, it would be 7 to 2 points in your opponent's favor. This is 4 to 0 points. So +1 net for you in this exchange. Yeah, so both exchanging pleasantries, and then let's take a look again at yellow's field attack with the Dorito at the bottom right. Okay. So yellow is at +2 with 2 meeples in hand. Blue has also 2 meeples in hand. Yeah, looks like this simple move here in many cases would have won yellow the game. They are very likely to get their third meeple back and should then be able to outscore mtu the rest of the way. Maybe they could even still go for a field attack, but they don't need it. They are ahead without the field. This kill here, yeah, I'm pretty convinced, would have been a way better move than giving mtu the chance to still close this city. Even if you manage, would have successfully managed the field attack, the problem of mtu possibly re-attacking the field still persists. So this definitely was a huge mistake by yellow. And then they even closed the city. I mean, didn't even notice that, instead of taking care of this cap. Doesn't make any sense at all. And the next huge mistake, of course. Sure, it's totally annoying. Endangering your field connection. But if you don't do anything about this, I mean, there are still 4 caps out there. So your opponent with how many tiles are remaining? 13? Yeah, 13 tiles remaining. You give them a 4 and 13 chance. Can't be correct. Can't be correct. Okay, well then, looks like the Austrian needs some love from the deck to beat other opponents. If he wastes precious chances like he had today, but we'll see. So the opponents should be warned. And this then is it for today. Nothing else happening. I might stream something tomorrow, still not sure. just subscribe, hit the bell notification, or well, check carcassonne.gg. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.